All right, so today's project is going to be these two planters, which you can't see that there's two there at this point. But we planted these up earlier this year with chocolate drop coleus, which overtook some of the other plants at So Vigorous. And in this larger one, we had the beautiful begonias and another coleus, I forget the name of it, but very good performer. And I actually have trimmed this back a couple of times. So if you want to just do a coleus that fills a pot, it's chocolate drops again. It's beautiful. But we are going to be removing this for our fall containers. And we are going to be working with some products over here to get things switched out. This is probably going to break some of your hearts, tearing out these perfectly beautiful plants, but I am a huge lover of seasonal change, and that's just part of the game. So we can get these emptied out, and then we will get our new plants placed. That's not looking too bad. We might leave that. All right, so we're gonna get in here with our new plants. The first one is this Rebecca, or Sunbecca, rather. Beautiful fall orangish blooms. And then we're gonna hopefully be using this white zinnia, this celosia, and this beautiful burnt orange. And we may be using this ornamental kale. This does bloom white, so it'll have a big white flower. And possibly this euonymus. But since I'm leaving the Creeping Jenny, we may not use this. We'll see how it works out. But that's the lineup for the back pot, so we'll get started here. All right, so let's get the placement of the Sunbeckia. Probably gonna just remove a couple of these lower leaves. And then try to slide it on out. There we go. Removing any damaged leaves as I go around. And we are hopefully at the right level. We're going to give it a test. And we are a little too tall. So we are going to dig down a bit. And that is way better. So I'm just going to backfill around the back side of this Sunbeckia. Using the potting soil that's already in here. Actually, change of plans. I think we're going to move this Creeping Jenny as it is, and we are just going to plop her down over to the edge, and then you can see there's just a little gap here, and we are going to fill that in with soil. So there we go. So far, we've got our Sunbeckia, and we've moved our Creeping Jenny. On this side, we're going to continue cleaning up Sunbeckia as we go, but I'm believing the Celosia is going to be our next one right there. And this is called Twisted Dark Orange. There's the tag. And that soil needs to be brought up a little bit. I think that's going to be our placement there. And I'm going to backfill with a little bit of compost on this corner. And then I'm hoping that I can get the kale and now the kale, which is an ornamental kale, which you'll see will bloom white. We going in with some more compost. Right there. I'm gonna throw in the front a little of our Biotone Slow Release. Fertilizer. All right, and our last one here is going to be this white zinnia. So the white zinnia will pull up the white in this bloom, and then these two correspond with the orange. So right there, but we do need to bring up the soil a bit. So some more compost. Making sure we're tucking in by the other plants there. So I think we need to turn it this way to get some more of the blooms to the front. And there we are. So we'll have this bright white kale over here, the white of this zinnia, orange and orange. All right, and this little beauty, this is the hardest one of both. It's a cheater step, don't tell anybody, but I do this quite often if it's just gonna be a month or two, like in the spring and definitely in the fall before I switch out some sort of pine for winter. But we have this planter already planted of these beautiful straw flowers, and we are simply going to do this little number. She fits perfectly in my container. Back her up a little bit, but that's it. So perspective, this is the garage. We will be obviously changing out the wreath, but there we go. That is our straw flowers in the orange, yellow, and pink. And I did face the orange and yellow more so towards the front just to pick up on the orange and white and green here. So straw flowers, ornamental kale, white zinnia, orange celosia, and orangish burgundy, beautiful colors of Rudbeckia. And none of these are perennial here, so these will just be removed at the end of the fall season.